Good evening. This is part 2 of what to do in your spare time in Saudi Arabia, part 2. There'll be a number of parts to this because it takes up time. Again, I've got the free Richard in Saudi on my mask. And again, I'll do this at the start of every video. For those who want full details of Richard's case, you can email me, as I say this, at kabsa, K-A-B-S-A, .anzi, A-N-Z-I, at gmail.com, and I'll reply to that. Thank you. Okay, so back to working in Saudi. Well, in your off hours. So we finished with the shopping malls. Now we're going to talk about bookshops. There are very few bookshops that I've ever come across there. This is not like Dubai, full of them. But there is one chain, which has a limited number of Western books, called, if I can remember, Jarir Bookshop. And it tends to have basically literature, computer books, all of these self-help books. And yeah, there's going to be Chopra and all of that stuff. Some marketing books, a lot of IELTS books for those that want to learn English, some electronics books, etc. So there's children books there. There are some, of course, as one might expect, a specialized religious book section of books on Islam, and I myself, because I have an interest in the common law. Sorry, I'm just having a problem here. Have an interest in the common law jurisdictions. I was able to get a book that's not regularly in print, but it's in English, not Arabic, and it's about Saudi law. This nothing to do with Sharia law. This has to do with, I won't go into the details. It's arcane interest of mine, but it's about basically codified law and administrative law and insurance law and dealing with multinationals. And I was able to pick a book up there and actually met a Saudi lawyer through it. And we got to talk legal matters. So there's a wide variety of things there, and Jarir also sells a lot of electronic goods. Now the beauty of buying from there, because it's a big bookshop, is if there's a problem, you can take things back. Especially, I would have thought, I never bought any electronics there. They have electronics people there, whereas if you go down to the souk or the local area, good luck at trying to get something with a cashback on it. I say that with not knowing much. Now, also as a caveat here, a very good friend of mine who still lives in Saudi did say to me, he used words that I had used years ago, do not bite the hand that feeds you. So I have to make an admission, yes, I wouldn't have bit the hand that fed me when I was working in Saudi for Saudi companies, except the Free Richard H campaign. You know, most people leave Saudi with some cash, many bitter, but they don't say anything. But unfortunately, because of Richard's situation, I decided that I'd have to try to help other people make the stop from going into the pitfalls that Richard fell into about having no knowledge when he came. This comes into something else. Your firms that you go to work for, unless I'm sure it's BAE or Aramco, won't tell you sweet FA about Saudi Arabia. Some will give you maybe a two-day tour, if possible. I never had one. So people are in a complete culture shock, but that's for another video. So you arrive on the ground stump. And I have always said that it would help if someone, before they came on contract, would have that said to them. But often in Saudi, because of the high turnover of a lot of Western staff, people don't want to tell future employees. Okay, so Jarir Bookshop. There are also some other bookshops I've come across in Jeddah and Dammam, but they were very small. Ones that have it in the English language. I'm sure there are more bookshops in the Arabic language, the two main languages that you'll find. I think probably in Carrefour and maybe Lulu there's sections with books in it, but they're very small. But I said not in there. I did read, and I bought a lot of decent books. Not, maybe 50% more than the UK. sometimes twice as much, but sure, you need a book. And in my first couple of years in Saudi, I did read a lot of books on a lot of very wide subjects. And as long as it's, obviously, you don't want, there aren't books there on heavy political matters unless it's about something that doesn't usually involve Arab states. But you could pick up Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. You could pick up things critical of America or Russia or China, but usually, there's the classics and there's enough to read. But in today's world, so many people don't buy books anyway. But I did, and probably the older expats do. And then there's a lot of books, kids' books for children. A lot of Arab expats buy books in English and Arabic for their children. So in terms of bookshops, yeah, if you're in a big city, but guess what? If you're in Hafrabatan or in Kamis Mashait, or in Arar, or the smaller towns, never saw a bookshop in them. But then again, that's it. So if you're out in the back of Beyonds, an area where they do read a lot, interesting, two areas. One is called Katif, very interesting literate area, and very friendly people. An area that I found the most barren was a place called Qasim, where there was almost nothing in English. But, it depends on the region and the area. But the three main cities, Dammam, Dhahran, one area, Jeddah, another, and Riyadh, those main conurbations have some bookshops. All right, that's it for now. I'll talk about my next topic, which is going to the beach. So that'll be part 3. Thank you.